Business Brain, episode 762 for Wednesday, June 17th, National Stewarts Root Beer Day 2026.
Welcome back. It's Business
Oh, we're back.
I hit that button.
Yes, you're back to the text.
Yeah, we're
Or
back to
voice.
the audio. That's right. All right. Welcome to Business Brain, the show where you send in some ideas, we get some ideas, and we take those ideas and use them to help tune our business brains every single time we get together. Back here in Durham, New Hampshire, I'm Dave Hamilton. Our sponsors are bitdefender.com/brain, where you can save 30% on Bitdefender Ultimate Small Business Security, and oneskin.co/brain, where you get 15% off OneSkin with code BRAIN. We'll talk about both of those in a little bit. And it's good to be back.
Yeah, good to have you back, dude. I'm ready to tune my business brain. I need this so often. It's perfectly timed for like, oh, okay, I get to chat for an hour and toss around ideas and hear feedback from our listeners. So it's great. I feel
That's
fortunate
Shannon
to-
Jean over
to be
there, by
here.
the way, folks. So
That's
there
who I
you
am.
go.
I'm still here. I'm still in Northern California, and I'm loving every minute of it. Isn't there a song, something like that?
Loving every minute of it, probably.
Yeah, got to be something. That's a good show.
Why not?
Song tune. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
National Stewarts Root Beer Day.
yeah,
I
what
want to
is
talk
up with
about this.
that?
No,
Yeah.
what this means is for every one of us, and I am including you and me in this group, for every one of us that has not yet taken advantage of the automatic marketing that comes from just creating your own business's day on the calendar.
Okay.
Shame on all of us.
How do we do it? How do we do it?
It's super easy.
just-
You just go to like nationaltoday.com, you register a holiday, and then that's it. So I think
Awesome.
I think February. I think it's February 19th. I got to look. Whatever the day we started Business Brain, that should be
Yes.
Business Brain Day,
I agree.
right?
I agree.
Like
Yeah.
it's a no brainer. Let me look at what
Perfect.
that day is.
Yeah.
And,
And you
February,
can stack
February
them up.
19th.
They're not exclusive. Every day
No.
you can have all kinds of things. Yes, I like
Correct.
that.
Yeah,
That's
no,
awesome.
June 17th has National Eat Your Vegetables Day,
Yeah,
Bunker
so we
Hill
can-
Day, Clean Your Kitchen
Perfect.
Vents Day. And I didn't
anything you
even
want.
scratch the surface of the list here, Shannon.
I'm gonna
So-
I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna
Right.
post about it, and we're gonna share it, and we'll talk about it. So that's a
Yep.
great idea. Now,
Yep.
what's it called? What's the site?
Oh, well, there's a bunch,
There's a bunch of them. Okay.
Yeah, it's the one I usually look at is nationaltoday.com.
Perfect.
But there's others. Like
Okay, yeah. Great.
Yeah. There's a couple of them actually that track all this stuff. And
sounds good.
kudos to them for doing this too. Like
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It reminds me one of my favorite things to recommend people that own local service businesses is to buy a fire truck. Of course.
Oh yeah.
Because you buy this fire trucks are pretty inexpensive. You can buy them for a few $1,000s, like on a site called Gov Deals, where they sell all these
Okay.
old fire trucks and stuff. They're pretty. but
not like a fire truck that you're going to go fight fires with.
you're not
but-
going to fight fires with it. You're going to
Right.
wrap it in your company's all the stuff, very patriotic, whatever, and you're going to drive it in every single parade. You're going to park it out in front of your businesses. You're going to drive it to get food when you pick up stuff, do things for your community. You're going to take
Love
it to
that.
the food. All the things you do in your community, you get noticed by having this awesome custom wrap fire truck. Maybe not as
So
good as a
smart.
National Day, but those kinds of
Well,
things.
you can,
I
but
love that
they
kind.
aren't
You can do
mutually
both.
exclusive. You can
No,
do
they're
both.
not. You can do
That's
both.
right.
You can do both.
Yeah.
I love it.
Hey. Oh, I was
yes.
gonna. You want to go? I'll go. It
You
doesn't
wanna hay
matter.
it? You can hay it, I
I'll
can
go.
hay it.
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, I'll hay it.
Do it.
I just came back from Los Angeles, right? And
saw that.
where my son and we did really a dream trip. We
Sounds like it.
yeah, we went to see opening nights of Rush's the band Rush's 50-something tour, which is their first time playing in 11 years. And my son had become a fan 11 years ago because of seeing them on the last tour. And it was amazing. Like it was a thing we never thought would happen. We did this father-son trip. That was amazing. The shows were amazing. Like the whole thing was I keep thinking once in a lifetime experience. If that's true, I'm thankful. But it doesn't have to be once in a lifetime.
Correct.
You can do you can do these things. But I want to point out two things. One, the value of making businesses out of your interests. I used to say out of your hobbies, but out of your interests, right? Like, yeah. So I have I do this show, which is about business, obviously, but I have a podcast about tech stuff, Apple tech stuff, because I'm interested in that. I'm also interested in business. That's why we have this podcast, right? We both are. Yep. And then I have a podcast called Gig Gab that's for music and musicians, because I am a musician. And what's nice about creating businesses that match your interests is twofold, more than twofold, but I'll articulate two of the points. One is it keeps, like, on the days when it kind of sucks to have to like do all the grinding work, you're at least interested in the type of thing that you're doing.
The overall arch of what you're, yes, super important.
Which is important. It doesn't always work out that way, but we get to control our charmed lives, and so we can do that. But the other thing is that I joke that my entire life is tax deductible.
Absolutely.
Now, you see these posts that I did about this trip that Lucas and I did, and I, before the tour, I had Russia's lighting director on Gig Gab, and then just after the episode we did after we got back, I was just going to do me and Lucas. But one of Rush's old sound guys is also just a Rush fan. And so the three of us got together and did a podcast. Now, I did 2 podcasts and lots of pieces of content from there. What portion of my dream once-in-a-lifetime trip with my son do you think was tax deductible? A good chunk of it.
I'm no accountant, Dave, but I would say a lot.
A lot.
A lot.
I did not deduct the tickets for Six Flags that we did on our show day off. I mean, I might have been able. I always and I have this conversation with my accountant, of course, as I recommend everybody does. But my metric for that is, could I, if necessary, hopefully it's not necessary, could I sit down with an IRS agent with a straight face and explain,
justify it? Yeah.
Can I justify this?
Can you justify it? Yeah.
And I mean, like, that trip was probably one of the easier ones to justify. Like,
absolutely.
I don't think anybody would even ask any questions about this, right? So, I highly recommend that, and that's one of the things I've done this for years. I joke that my entire life is tax deductible because I'm into music, I'm into computers, I have businesses in both, and so come at me if you want.
Hey,
but they have come at me, and I've gone and had the straight face conversation. Yeah, it's totally fine. It's just not a big deal. The other thing that I learned from this trip is the value of using your email autoresponder to personalize, to inject your personality into your business life. And I've seen other people doing this. I certainly don't take credit for this idea.
Okay.
But the idea of, when I was away, I put an email autoresponder in because I didn't want to have to, I wanted people to know it might take an extra day for me to get back to them.
Sure.
Yeah. And so I just put it the thing, like I'm doing this, father-son trip to go to Los Angeles to see Rush. And I got comments from people, and it humanizes the whole thing.
That's really great.
And I've seen other people do it too. And if you don't know how to write it, well, use your favorite chatbot to help you if you like. But really, it's just a quick little note. Like, you don't want to write a huge treatise about why you're going away. But just a little something can make a really it just automatically personalizes your business life with these people that are just coming in. And I
love it.
I used to shy away from that, man. And I've realized that was a mistake.
Yeah. It is, I think that you can't overstate the power of what you just described. It's that humanizing your business, whether it's using a photo of you on stuff instead of just a kind of an impersonal logo, whether it's the way your signature works, whether in your emails or those autoresponders. If you somewhere back in an episode or maybe multiple episodes, I talked about our auto attendant, voicemail system at Tech Restore.
Yes,
that was me. I answered. And the first thing I said was, wow, I hate these auto-attended voicemail things just as much as you do. Let's figure it out. We'll get through you quickly. And then, I did all the prompts. I just recorded them.
Of course.
And kind of jokingly throughout the whole process. And like, we didn't have any music, right? Because we had gotten hassled by music licensing for this. I was like, okay, no music. So when people got put on hold, I would dip in every once in a while. I'd be like, hey, we're still here. It's okay. This little comments and quirky things. And we got so many emails and, comments when people were waiting for customer service. By the time they hit our customer service department, they were a little in a better mood.
Sure.
And it's the same kind of thing. Personalizing your business with your personality, or adding personality to your business.
Adding personality to your business. And it's a topic I know we've talked about quite a bit on this show, because I think you certainly figured it out before I did. In the timeline of things that, with Tech Restore, it was one of those things where I was like, oh wait, we're doing this wrong. It was certainly one of the first things I learned from you, was like, oh yeah, no, you gotta be humans to each other.
It took me a long time too, because especially when I was just starting out new business, I had this sense of, I need to be a big company, and
right.
It was Mac
put on
Rescue, Mac Rescue
vision.
Industries and all this kind of stuff. After I don't know, maybe in 5 years, maybe in 10 years, I realized that a lot of that was just my ego, that I wanted, and building armor around myself to protect myself.
Ego might even be the wrong term. But I know what you mean. It's that I want to present us as being larger than we actually are,
and more succccessful. And I realized after a while that it's like, I don't need that, and I can just be myself, and we'll talk. And that shift has helped me remarkably, during the next 10, 15 years of my career.
Oh, same.
For sure.
Yeah. No, here we are doing this show. Like this show is certainly it's maybe not the logical end of that path, but it is a point far down the path that's very different from, I'm going to, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
And I would say that doing this show helped me to reach that point where I was more comfortable.
Sure.
First, just with audio, and then, I don't know, 5 years ago, whenever we switched over to audio and video, it got me very, much more comfortable with being on screen and being on YouTube or whatever, and led to the next thing. So it's that it goes both ways, right?
Yeah.
You learn from it, and then you share what you learned. So
then you share what you learned. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Super good.
It's good.
Great advice.
We have more to talk about, and the next thing on that list of more is our sponsors. And there's a scam hitting small businesses right now that I want to talk about a little. The idea is that somebody emails one of your team members, right? And they used your tone, right? It seems like the email comes from you. It says there's an urgent wire transfer, and also says, hey, look, keep this quiet until it's done. That's AI email cloning, right? And it's being used to drain small business bank accounts right now. And if this sounds like science fiction, well, I promise you it isn't. And I think we all know that it's not. Building the charmed life of an entrepreneur means protecting every piece of it. Your client data, your team, your reputation, right? Your accounts. And that's why our sponsor, Bitdefender, is worth your attention. Bitdefender is a global leader in cybersecurity, and their ultimate small business security is purpose-built for businesses with 25 or fewer employees who don't have a dedicated IT department. You get AI-powered scam protection trained specifically on small business attack patterns, the kind that catch phishing attempts, right? Fake messages and malicious links before anyone on your team ever sees them. Add in dark web monitoring to flag if your data shows up somewhere it shouldn't, password management, unlimited VPN for your remote folks, right? And one clean, easy dashboard to run it all. It's outstanding. You got to check this out. Keep your small business safe with Bitdefender Ultimate Small Business Security and save 30% when you go to bitdefender.com/brain. That's bitdefender.com/brain for 30% off. Check it out. I think you're going to really like it. And our thanks to Bitdefender for sponsoring this episode. And we entrepreneurs are pretty good at optimizing everything except ourselves, right? We'll spend hours finding just the right tool, the right system, the right process. and then slap the same drugstore moisturizer on our face that we've been using since college, right? That's not the charmed life. That's just inertia. It happens. Well, we can make some changes. I've been using our sponsor OneSkin's Face and Eye for a couple of months now, as I've mentioned. And what changed my mind is that it's not just another skincare product, right? Most skincare sits on the surface. OneSkin's OS1 peptide actually goes after the root cause. As we age, skin cells stop functioning the way that they used to, right? The scientists call them zombie cells. And that's what's driving the fine lines, the loss of firmness, the dullness. OS1 was specifically engineered to address those cells directly. I even used AI to compare photos taken like 6 weeks apart, right? Smoother forehead, it found, more even texture, firmer under my eyes. I have spreadsheets with less compelling data than that, right? Just last week, I used OneSkin's Face SPF while I was in Los Angeles, and it too is fantastic. No greasy feeling, no residue, and you're getting that OS1 protection and mineral SPF in one shot. That's protecting against future damage while reversing past summers. Backed by 4 peer-reviewed clinical studies and over 10,000 5-star reviews. Born from over a decade of longevity research, OneSkin's OS1 peptide is proven to target the visible signs of aging, helping you unlock your healthiest skin now and as you age. For a limited time, try OneSkin with 15% off using code BRAIN at oneskin.co/brain. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code BRAIN. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please mention the show so you can support the show and tell them we sent you. Go check it out, oneskin.co/brain. I think you're going to like it at least as much as I do. And our thanks to OneSkin for sponsoring this episode. What's next, Shannon? What do you got for today?
Well,
I hate you early. What do you got for me?
Okay, so hey, we recording this show on Monday, and last Friday, SpaceX, their IPO went live.
Yeah, that's right.
And that went out, and byproduct of that, along with like 4,000 other employees that became millionaires worked for SpaceX. SpaceX been doing this for 24 years, so it's not like they're overnight, right? They've been doing all the stuff. They also
they even have a profitable business, right?
They have
with
a profit
Starlink.
with Starlink, yeah. And they transport 80% of all cargo to space is going through SpaceX right now. It's crazy.
Yep.
But
I actually want to. I know you've got a point, but I wanted to share something that kind of blew me away. This was probably 9 years ago. I was invited with a group of other podcasters to go visit NASA at Kennedy Space Center for a day.
That place. Yeah.
We were taken kind of behind the scenes, but not like where we had to get like top secret security clearance or anything.
Nice.
So, and we were toured through. It was a whole day event. It was fantastic. But one of the things that they said to me that it stuck with me because it really blew me away in the moment was they said, okay, well, that pad, that's SpaceX's pad, and that pad over there is Blue Origin's pad. And it was like, and they said the vision of this as a multi-use spaceport has been realized. Like when NASA built this, it was like the government was going to do the thing where it paves the way.
Going. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And then the idea is that private industry would take over. And of course, even at that point in time, and of course, we did get to see the Artemis stuff there, which was cool, especially given what's happened recently, with all the moon stuff. And so it was, but like, this is an interest. This is how it's supposed to. It's how the internet was incubated, right? It's the same kind of thing. So anyway,
it's great, it's a good point. And a byproduct of the SpaceX IPOs that Elon Musk became on paper the first trillionaire, right?
Yes.
Not that he has that money and stuff, but because he's built equity in all these companies. Yeah. But some of the posts, I saw a post by some just some politician or whatever that said something to the effect of, Elon Musk becomes today became the first trillionaire. Let's make sure he's the last. And I thought that, I never post about politics, but that comment hit me so much that in such a negative way of thinking. And so when I reposted the comment, I actually added, I said, hey, this is really not a political post. It's a post about mindset. And if you want to have a great life and be in control of your own destiny and be accountable and live an uncommon life, don't think like this. Because despite what you may feel about, Elon and value and politics, that's separate. I didn't even mention it. However, almost all of the comments, there was a ton of likes. It got some very positive comments as well. But a lot of the comments were dragging back into, so they don't deserve it. It's not fair. Their politics, this kind of thing. And I kept reminding people, I said, no, my post is not about any of that. It's about mindset, and that you have a choice, and you can decide to have this mindset of the pie is ever growing, that it's not a zero, what do they call it? Zero sum.
It's not a zero-sum game.
It's not a zero-sum game. Just because someone's a trillionaire, billionaire, doesn't mean that doesn't take anything away from you. And matter of fact, I would argue the politician takes more away from you than somebody who's building businesses. Yeah, I mean, that's another show.
I saw another thing that predicted that by the time it leaves this mortal coil, Elon Musk will have paid over $1 trillion in taxes too.
Absolutely. I mentioned that as well because I got lots of that about doesn't pay taxes, this kind of thing. But I kept reminding people, hey, if you have this really scarce mindset, and I get concerned about a segment of our population that are taught constantly that there's not enough. It'll never be as good as it was. It'll be, and maybe this goes beyond a little bit of our business, frame here, but I don't think so. As entrepreneurs and business owners, of course you have to be an optimist, right? You'll never make it.
You can't think with a scarcity mindset.
You'll never make it. If you do that. And so I just was, I felt compelled to just continually remind everybody, look, it's abundance, man. You have to think our best years are ahead of us. Everything you want is possible. And if you want to become, I don't think, Elon didn't start to become a billionaire, to become a trillionaire. It is, secondary or maybe even way down the line to what he's tried to achieve. But even in the post, I was not, it wasn't the defense of Elon. It was a defense of
the concept. Yeah.
And abundance.
And abundance.
Abundance.
I agree. It is difficult to help someone change their mind if they don't want to change their mind on this. I think that's the right way to say it. Because it's not difficult to change someone's mind if you're out there and you realize that, oh my gosh, my mindset defaults to scarcity. You can fix that. In fact, it's very easy to fix that. You have to start thinking differently about things.
That's right.
And don't worry about. I know how easy it is to worry. My businesses have down years too. There's times when my employees individually and certainly collectively earn more than me. Like there's years where I choose not to take a salary or whatever just to build the business and like all those things. And like even in those years, in fact, especially
because of your optimism and your framework of abundance, that's what carries you through. Yes,
that's it. That's the fuel. I know it can be better. Do I have proof that it can be better? Only in retrospect, obviously.
Of course,
I can't, but I believe that it can be better, and that's the difference. That's what we're talking about here.
That's correct.
It's minding your mindset, right?
And you can spread that throughout your organization. The way you talk, the way you interact with your employees and present the opportunities to them, the way, especially those employees or, consultants or members of your team that are ambitious and want to grow, you want to embrace those people and hold on while they move up and help your organization. And like you said, sometimes they make more than you, but that's okay.
So, even in those days, that means the cash is flowing. That is a good thing. That's a reason to be optimistic.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And if I get sometimes boredom is my biggest enemy, and sometimes after a few years of doing the same kind of stuff over and over and over and over again. So the perfect way to solve that is to find the next person who wants to do what you've been doing. It's like, okay, I'm going to empower you. Look at all the stuff we can create. Look at all these things. So embrace abundance. Make it part of your lexicon, your language, the way you talk. Don't get caught in petty arguments about who deserves what or whatever. We have to be. Man, I don't want to go
Life's
down that
not
route,
fair. Like
no, of course
we
not.
all
Of
know
course
that.
not. Of
So
course not. Yeah.
let the defense stipulate life's not fair.
That's not fair.
Moving on. Right.
Moving
That's
on.
it.
Yeah.
But it's good
Yeah.
stuff.
So anyway, I just thought it is worth pointing out. Our best years are ahead of us. You're listening
must
to these
be.
words. They must be. And we'll help you get there. So make sure you reach out and talk to us. Feedback at businessbrain.show so we can help you create an uncommon life and live a charmed life.
That's the whole idea. And go to businessbrain.show/review and leave us a review. And that helps us, which means we can keep helping you. Thanks, folks. We'll see you
ya.
for Friday Eye.